Hello, everyone, and welcome to Proline Daily. I'm John Cranton in Las Vegas, joined by world champion handicapper Jim Feist. It is Friday. Going to take a look at some baseball and some NBA playoff action for the weekend. First, Jim, you're off an 8-3 Thursday with all plays, including a perfect 2-0 in the NBA. You had Utah Jazz and Washington. Washington, a blowout win. Utah Jazz, wasn't sure they were going to get the cover, but they certainly showed up in the second half to make it close. That's part of a 105-65 NBA run.
Yeah, it's been red hot. I'm gonna do this 3-pack Major League Baseball that goes tonight. It's exciting, and I've got not today, but I have something in the NBA for tomorrow as well. You want to get involved in this? My high roller game of the month, $49. You call my room, 866-546-9467. Exciting. I'm excited. I'm always excited when I'm collecting money. You know, when you get payday on Tuesday, every Tuesday, it adds up, and it's a wonderful thing.
It certainly does. And when you go 105-65 like you have in the NBA over the season, that adds up as well. All right, let's start off with the NBA. You got a game on Friday night here. Spurs heading to Houston for Game 3, pivotal Game 3 with the series tied 1-1. Hasn't been much to watch in these series as we've seen a couple of blowout games. But here the Rockets are about a 4 to 4.5 point home favorite. We've seen the total come down a little bit from 215.5 to 213.5. Spurs just played terrible in that first game. They got whitewashed by the quick Houston team, but they bounced back with a blowout win of their own in Game 2 to get back in the series. The bad news for them is Tony Parker is out. It's going to hurt their bench. It hurts their veteran playmaker, and his points have almost doubled in the postseason from the regular season. But they're facing this Houston team. It's a short road trip. James Harden, they kept him in check the last game. On the other hand, he's averaging 12 assists. And in that first game, they couldn't stop anybody. So, Jim, how do we look at this game? The dog, the home court, or these injuries?
Well, I tell you what, this is I don't want to say it on the air because I might get bleeped, but this is a mess. I mean, neither these games, I've been on the right side of a lot of them because I've been able to handicap the right side and actually predicting the blowouts. But this is a different animal. Without Tony Parker, you know, this is a very old team for an NBA basketball team. You got the front line with Gasol and Aldridge, and then you have Ginobili, who's almost 40. Parker, of course, is out, but he's old too, older, I should say. You're not old when you're in your 30s, but for basketball you are, especially when you're running around against kids that are 20. A different age, different energy levels, everything else. So this is a very difficult situation. Those Spurs are going to Houston. Houston is not the greatest point spread favorite at home, but, after getting blown out, so you look at the zigzag. Houston won the first, blew them out. San Antonio comes back, wins the second game, blows them out. So if you look at the zigzag, this should be Houston coming back as a small home favorite. They're only 4.5. And you got to wonder, what would this line have been if Parker was actually playing? I don't think it would be that much difference. Maybe instead of 4.5, maybe it would actually be 4 with a little money on the dog favored there. So this is a difficult situation because now you're going to have to bring in Patty Mills to probably start at point guard. And, okay, so let's say he does a great job. He's a better outside shooter than Parker, but let's say he plays really good. The bench issue is the question. Who comes in and who plays well? Because they have Murray, but we don't know what he's going to do at this level. This is a big game, a lot of pressure against Houston. Now, Houston's not the greatest defensive team in the world, but I'll tell you what, they line up outside and they can throw these. They shot 53-point shots the other night in Game 1 and made 22 of them. So, I mean, this team can light it up from outside, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on San Antonio to try to fill the holes. And it comes down to the age situation. These older guys that the Spurs have to be able to move out from underneath and go out and stop these three-pointers. Now, that's not easy to do for a full game when you've got the legs tiring out. This is a tough spot. I love Popovich. I love the Spurs. I love the way they play basketball. But I think we're starting to see attrition here with this aging group.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you just like coaches, you certainly have to like Popovich over D'Antonio. But Houston hasn't been covering these games. 4-12 spread run despite that game one cover. Spurs too have been kind of erratic. They did win game two, but after a victory, they're a terrible 6-15 against the spread that next game. Also, after a victory, they're 18-9-2 under the total. A head-to-head matchup, 4-0 under the total when they meet here at Houston. And would you believe the road team is 6-1 against the spread when these state rivals meet? So this is a big game on Friday, but no matter who wins, that's going to mean Game 4 is even more pivotal in the series. All right, let's move on to baseball. Got a terrific AL West game going tonight. Houston against the LA Angels, the Houston Astros. Best record in baseball. Young team that is clicking once again with a terrific road record of 7-4. And the Angels are 15-15 overall. However, they're very good at home, 9-4, and they've been on a terrific run of late, 8-4. Astros are favored here, about -141. Looks like they've actually come down. The money's come on the home dog here. But the Astros do have their ace going in Dallas Keuchel. And Jim, what numbers? This guy's putting up 5-0 record, 1.21 ERA. That explains the road team being the favorite tonight, but it doesn't explain that money movement.
No, this is a strange one. I mean, with the open 143, 141 with Keuchel on the road as a favorite over Chavez. And then the money starts coming in. Now, the money doesn't always win. Sometimes these things are a couple people, just maybe the LA Angels fan or something, started pouring some bucks on it. You never really know. I mean, we had a guy in town the other night, and what was the Golden State? I think it was on the Golden State game.
Oh, the 500 grand?
Yeah, this guy comes to town. He puts 500,000 on Golden State to win that first game straight up. Now, granted, they're a pretty big favorite, 13-point, 14-point favorite. 500,000 to win 20 and change. That is a huge margin to be laying. I mean, how many? You don't have to lose very many of them to be negative, and sometimes they do lose. So that was not something I would ever do, but that's laying a lot to win a little. I would do it to a certain level, but not at that level. But when you look at this Dallas Keuchel, his 5-0, 121 ERA, 44 innings pitched, 25 hits, 11 bases on balls. I mean, that's remarkable. 36 Ks. I mean, just the ratio, 3-1 on bases on ball to Ks, and hits only 25 in the fourth. He's pitching great. So why do they come out as a favorite and then the other team gets the money? I don't really understand it. I mean, Chavez hasn't been that great. Jesse is, he's 33 years old, 2-4, 4.50 ERA. There's nothing special about what he has done. 18-38 as a starter with, it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know where that money's coming from. Personally, I would be on the other side.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good, decent value now with an ace like this going. Keuchel has already faced the Angels once, and he beat them 5-1 and was dynamic with only 1 walk, 1 run, and 7 strikeouts. That was April 19th when he starts on natural grass like he is tonight, 47-23 with him on the mound. Team does come off a loss to Texas last night, and the Angels, they're on that 8-4 run, but they've lost the last 2 games. They're home from a kind of a grueling road trip, and the pitching got pounded these last 2 games, 8-7 at Seattle, and then 11-3 last night, allowing 16 hits. So they're not coming in on a hot streak, and Chavez is just below average stuff overall. When you look at the head-to-head matchup, it's been an under series here in Los Angeles, 14-6-1 under the total. And the Astros have done extremely well, 16-6 against the rival Angels, including 6-2 here in this park. And also the head-to-head matchup is 8-2 over the total of late. All right, we also have some games going on Saturday in the NBA. Jim, any money movement on the early Golden State line?
Well, it opened 5. It's still 5. I mean, this is Draymond Green got a little banged up in the last game, and why he fouled at the end of the game up 13 with 5 seconds to go, only, I don't know who knows, but it really changed a lot of money for a lot of people. Knocking that thing down from 13 to 11, it made the world of difference to a lot of people. But that's what happens. I mean, Utah has been playing tough. They've been hanging in. They're not the better team. We know that. And that's why they're a 14-point dog on the road, 5-point dog at home. Utah down 0-2. This is the game. I mean, they got to put out the biggest effort they possibly can. Early information on Dallas or Draymond Green is he will be okay for the game and will play. Big game for Utah. The fans will be going crazy. They want to try to get a win under their belt and have a chance in the series. Obviously, if they lose this game down 0-3, you're not going to beat Golden State 4 in a row with an inferior club to begin with, although Golden State did blow a 3-1 lead last year in the finals against Cleveland, but Cleveland is not Utah.
All right, and that'll do it for this Friday. Remember, if you want to get free picks every day, just call 888-294-1970, a toll-free call right to here in Vegas. And, Jim, they can get free plays sent right to their cell phone as well.
Absolutely. Just text the word GAME, GAME, to 25827.
All right, that'll do it for the Friday edition of Proline Daily. Good luck with the games, everyone, and we'll see you back on Monday.